Hey folks, welcome to Bullet Points, and we are here at Central Iowa Impact. My friend Colby is the range safety officer and runs this place a couple days a week. He's the man behind the counter, the man to see about your gun needs.
And I do the best that I can. We're a full-service gun shop. We have sales service out front. We are currently in the range, which is 10 lanes at 25 yards. We do handle all pistols, shotgun, and most high-powered rifles. We have a gunsmith on staff about 2 days a week. He can pretty much do anything and everything you need. But if there's something that comes up that you don't know about, feel free to come and ask us, and we'll figure it out one way or the other.
Clear. Hey folks, welcome back. Tonight we are talking about the 1866 Winchester. Excuse me, not Henry. This rifle was the very first rifle to hold the Winchester name. Where was it at? Somewhere in the early 1860s, Oliver Winchester went and purchased. He was already the majority shareholder of New Haven Arms, but he ended up buying back even more of it and renaming the company to Winchester. So this was the first actual Winchester rifle ever produced. When it first came out, one of the ways they marketed it was the improved Henry. So they looked at the 1860 Henry and they listened from the field what people were having issues with. Some of it was the fouling, the jamming that was going on from the slotted magazine tube, So to correct that, the superintendent at the time for Winchester came up with the enclosed tubular magazine. So if you look on this one, there is no slot to it. And the loading process changed too. Instead of twisting the end of your barrel, they introduced the side loading gate. So you could fill your same 15 rounds of 44 rimfire right through the side gate, and you did not have to run out of ammo before you could start reloading. It did not matter if you fired it once or 12 times. Anytime you had space in that chamber, slide it through the side loading gate. The internals of the lever action are all exactly the same as a Henry, as the 1860. But these other modifications, to include the front wood stock, were direct results of what they were getting as far as complaints from the field. Soldiers in combat or frontiersmen that were fighting with their 1860 Henrys would complain that the barrels got hot and they couldn't hold on to them. So that's why they integrated the wood forestock. Other than that, these things are just absolutely gorgeous. That brass receiver was always polished up right, and it quickly earned the nickname the Yellow Boy. So if you're watching an old Western and they're talking about Yellow Boy rifles, that would have been the 1866. For the most part, these were produced in the 44 Henry rimfire. However, in the very last iteration of them, I think it was 1874 was when they were released. There was the 44 Henry centerfire that was actually produced at the factory to modernize this rifle as soon as cartridges went to centerfire ignition systems. The other thing that Winchester did when they came out with these was to make 3 different styles. They had the musket, which was a 24-inch in length rifle barrel, the carbine, and the standard rifle. All that was a variation on barrel length, but people were really happy with the carbines because they were the first shorter rifle that you could get around and carry it with you on horseback, carry it with you as you're walking around in the woods, and you didn't have such a large firearm that you had to balance and carry. During their production, the 1866, there was 171,000 of these rifles made. Compared to the 17,000 that the Henry that Henry produced, it shows you how much the manufacturing changed, how much more efficient they got at it. So in the same 6-year period, these were really a little more than 6 years. I guess it was closer to 9. They were produced strongly from 1866 all the way until 1874 as their last iteration. These became so popular that other governments were ordering the Winchester repeater to be their Army's rifle. Thousands were sold to Europe, and a significant number were also sold to Brazil. So if you find one of the Brazilian ones, that was the last iteration made, so they would have been produced around 1874 in center fire. There's less than 2,000 of those rifles ever made from the factory that were center fire. So that's a heck of a collector item if you can ever find one. This one is a reproduction. It is chambered in a .38 special. Most of the times when you get a cowboy style gun and you want something chambered in that .38 realm, it can also shoot .357. This rifle cannot. Because of its brass receiver, it cannot handle the pressure of a .357 round. You've got to shoot the .38s. There are a couple other companies that have changed up the material that the receiver is built with so they can handle those higher pressures. I don't have one of those. I have this .38 because it's very close to being true to what the original ones were. That lower pressure round, and it's just a lot of fun to shoot. So there you have, guys, the 1866 Winchester, the yellow boy, the first rifle to have Winchester's name on it. In fact, it wasn't even called the 1866 until after Winchester released their second rifle, the 1873. We'll talk about that one another day. Please remember to like and subscribe, ring the bell, drop a comment, share our videos. Thanks for watching Ammo and Oils.